Good afternoon, boxing fans. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we are here for Peter Jackson, defense number 8 of the Glory Days Boxing Lineal Heavyweight Championship of the World. And today, Jackson will be taking on Frank Childs, who was a very solid, I guess, fringe contender during the late 1800s, early 1900s. Another one of the very good, solid black heavyweight fighters from that point in time that never really got universal recognition as a quality fighter, but he definitely was. And Jackson should be favored in this one. Childs is susceptible, especially when he gets fatigued, and his stamina 90 for a 15-round fight, which is one of the few times that Jackson's opponent has less stamina than him over that distance. So that's going to come into play because it considerably worsens his chin. Power-wise, Childs, solid hitter, probably not enough to dent Jackson's chin, though, but we'll see how it plays off. Stranger things have happened. And if we get through this, if this does not go the distance, we'll break down the Lomachenko-Teofimo Lopez fight from last night as well, which was a very interesting fight and somewhat of a surprise to me, not in as much that Lopez was victorious, but in how he was victorious. So we will talk about that, time permitting. But now let's get down to the ring, and fighters are in their corners. We are ready to go. Jackson versus Childs, Glory Days Boxing Lineal Heavyweight Championship, first round, and we are underway. Jackson comes outside and going to be in control from the inside as he ducks in behind the jab, lets the hands go, and that's going to be a hard cross. Capping the sequence, 4 big punches landed, and defensively, Childs is going to block one of those, so cuts that down to 3. So Jackson off the blocks first here in round number 1, and it's going to be 2 stars from the outside for Jackson, once again in control. And 33 peppers a jab and a cross. 3 big punches get through, and it is going to be a possible knockdown. 2 and 7. Childs does not go down, but he's hurt, and that right hand folds him up against the ropes. So Jackson now moving in with an unopposed action. Coming up on the 2-minute mark in round number 1, and it's from the inside at 2 stars and short, hard punches in close. 2 punches land and a possible cut. 3 punches have to land for a will check. So Childs is going to survive there, but he can possibly be cut now, and he's cut on 5 or less. 14 shakes that off. 2 minutes to go, round number 1. Peter Jackson off to a great start in this one. Sets his feet from the outside and looks to fire away. 63. He's going to miss, and would have been another potential knockdown. Missing on the countering opportunity is Childs. He grabs, and referee George Seiler steps in to separate them. And just to catch up on that piece of it, referee George Seiler, judges Samuel Condi, Rudy Ortega, and Terry O'Connor. And O'Connor and Ortega have the impact bias. So the fact that Childs was hurt will automatically give this round to him. Ortega, in addition to that, favors the high-scoring fighter in a round in terms of punches landed, a little bit more than the average judge. So we will look for that to come into play as well. All right, so from the inside, it's going to be another 2-star effort, and it's going to be toe-to-toe now, and Jackson goes first from the inside at 93. He's going to fall into a clinch and negate any offensive action by Childs. We're closing in on the 1-minute mark, round number 1 here. And from the inside, 1 star. Jackson's in control. Lets the hands go. Series of jabs and crosses score. 5 big punches land, and 8 just misses a potential knockdown there. Minute to go in the round. And Childs has yet to get off the starting block in this one. 2 stars from the inside. Jackson once again in control, and once again lets the hands go, hard cross, caps the sequence, possible knockdown, and that dice is stuck. And Childs takes that. 40 seconds to go in the round, a big round for the champion, dominating the challenger at this point. And finally, Childs gets inside, lets the hands go, 18, and that's going to be jab, hook, and an uppercut. 3 big punches land for the challenger. And defensively, Jackson takes all of those. Final 20 seconds of the opening stanza. Jackson once again looks to work from the inside, and Childs tries to meet him there, but Jackson seizes control, and 49 from the inside. Short, hard punches in close. 2 punches land, and 4, another possible knockdown. 16, Childs takes those punches as the bell rings. So 19 punches to 2, a big opening round for the champion. And traits, Jackson, of course, has that counter-puncher trait, and the challenger has no traits. So a very big round for the champion out of the gate here, and that is potentially a 17-punch differential. Could be a 10-8 round if the judges are looking to really take into effect punch volume. And Steeler Fan 1933, Matt has joined us at ringside. Well, my friend, just saying, if this does not last the distance, which I think it probably won't, we'll talk a little bit about the Lomachenko-Lopez fight from last night, which was a very interesting fight to say the least. And the last 6 rounds were actually very entertaining. So round number 2, as we get underway, and coming outside, Peter Jackson looks immediately to get inside, does so successfully, takes control, lets the hands go, and 4 more punches land, hard cross, capping the sequence. 19, potential cut, and 5, that's going to be facial damage sustained by Childs. 14, and that is going to be a cut right eye for the challenger. So blood pouring down the face of Childs early in this one. And the cut not bad enough to prompt a stoppage check, at least at this time, as Jackson looks to work from the outside. It's going to be toe-to-toe from the outside. Jackson lets the hands go. 92. It's going to be a clinch. And Childs, no opportunity to get any blows off of his own. Referee Seiler separates the 2 fighters, and Jackson once again looks to work from the outside in another toe-to-toe exchange. 27. And this time, Jackson, 3 big punches get through. As Childs sets his feet, fires back. No knockdown attempt for either fighter. He gets through 3 of his own with a jab, hook, and an uppercut. 2 minutes to go in the second round. Childs can get untracked a little bit earlier in this round. He was pretty much stymied in the first. And another toe-to-toe exchange from the outside. Peter Jackson once again will lead this off. And peppers a jab and a cross. 3 more punches land, and up to 10 for the round now. And again, no possible knockdown for either fighter, as Childs fires back again. That jab, hook, uppercut. 3 punches of his own. 1 minute, 40 seconds to go in the round. And Childs hanging with the champion in this one, at least in this stage of the round. 2 stars from the inside for Jackson. He ducks in, takes control. 74, lets the hands go, misses. Childs tries to counter, and Jackson grabs him. Fighters are separated by Seiler. As Jackson pushes Childs away, looks to create space to punch, and it's going to be a toe-to-toe from the inside. Jackson once again goes first, 32, and 3 more punches land for the champion. Firing back is the challenger, Childs, 79, and he misses. So a minute to go in the round. Jackson now pulling away slightly as we enter the final third of the second round. 3 stars from the outside. Jackson automatically in control. Hard cross again, caps a 4-punch sequence. 17 punches landed now in the round for the champion, and eating every single one of those is the challenger, Childs. And Childs' corner screaming at him to get on track, but Jackson again dominating, taking control from the outside, misses, and missing on the countering opportunity. Childs as Jackson jumps back out of the way, creates an angle, comes back in, and looks to work inside. It's going to be 1 star for each fighter, and toe-to-toe from the inside. Going first is the champion, Peter Jackson. Short, hard punches connect, 2 of them. And Childs fires back, looks to finish this round strong, and misses as the bell rings. So another good round for our champion. Second round in a row, he has landed 19 punches. So an extremely impressive punch output for Peter Jackson up to this point. Only 6 landed for the challenger in that round. So 13 punch differential. And again, we are looking at a possible 10-8 round just due to volume. But definitely things very much in Jackson's favor early in this one as the fighters up off their stool in preparation of round number 3. Stamina-wise, down to 52 already for the challenger Childs as we enter the third round, and that is definitely going to come into play at some point as Jackson takes control from the inside, misses, and missing on the countering opportunity is the challenger. Jackson grabs him. Seiler separates the fighters. Jackson again looks to duck inside and does so, taking control, lets the hands go, and 28 from the inside, peppers a jab, then across. 3 punches land, and 5 just misses a knockdown opportunity. Defensively, Childs is going to take one of those away, and that shows you how this one number, 4 would have been a knockdown chance, and 3 would have put Childs on his back. Instead, it comes out in his favor as he blocks the last punch in that sequence. And from the outside, Peter Jackson, no stars. Frank Childs, rare, takes control from the outside, misses. And Jackson looking to counter cannot. 2 minutes to go in the round. Jackson resets his feet, and it's going to be 1 star from the inside. Jackson taking control, lets the hands go, and another big 4-punch combination. Up to 6 punches landed for the round now, and 12 on that. Taking every single one of those punches is the challenger. Jackson now measuring, creating space, lets the hands go, pumps a jab out there first, follows with a cross. 3 more punches get through for the champion. Up to 9 now landed in the round, and again, just missing a possible knockdown. That would have had Childs down. Instead, he is going to again block another punch. So 1 minute, 20 seconds to go, and Frank Childs getting fortunate with the defense early in this one. And Pete, hey, what's up, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. Things are going good, just chilling on a Sunday. We're going to talk about the Loma Lopez fight after this one. So it's going to be no stars to the outside for the champion, and the challenger, Childs, takes control, lets the hands go. 27 and doubles up on the jab. And defensively, Peter Jackson's going to take both those punches. So 1 minute to go in the round. Output for the champion down slightly in this round as he takes control from the outside. And just as I say that, series of wicked jabs and cross the score. 5 big punches land, and the challenger eats all those. 40 seconds to go in the round. Frank Childs has got to get some action going here as finally he takes control again from the inside. 66, but he misses, and cracking back with a countering shot. Peter Jackson, that's going to be 3 punches landed with the counterpoint trait coming into play. Final 20 seconds of round number 3, and Jackson again, a significant dominating round. It's going to be from the inside as he takes control, 95 from the inside, and it's going to be a punch and a potential foul. 19 is above his foul rating, and that is the round. So 17 punches to 2. And Jackson, early in this one, has already landed 55 punches through 3 rounds. And this is going to be a 15-punch differential, which once again could lead to a possible 10-8 round, depending on how the judges see it. So all 3 judges now have marked their cards. Definitely a dominating performance for the champion thus far as we head into round number 4. And the challenger, Frank Childs, very competent fighter, a 41-9-8 record in his career, but he is losing this one badly. And fatigue is down to 35 stamina, so he has, at this pace, only has 2 more rounds of freshness left. As round number 4 is underway, Jackson storms out, takes control, and that's going to be a clinch to start the round. Looked to work inside and instead did not leave enough space to let his hands go. Referee separates him. And it is going to be Childs now taking control from the inside. 30, and Childs, for the first time this fight, doubles up on that cross and gets off first in a round. 17, or I'm sorry, 5 on the defensive check. And actually, Peter Jackson negates both of those punches. So Childs, frustrated, thought he saw an opening, and Peter Jackson immediately closed that. 2 stars from the inside for Jackson, and Jackson takes control and misses. Counter opportunity, no counter by Childs. 2 minutes to go in the round. Neither fighter has landed a significant shot yet in the 4th. Once again, from the inside, it's going to be Childs taking control, misses, and Peter Jackson clinches, does not attempt to counter him. Fans now starting to get a little bit restless as the pace early in this one was brisk. It slowed down considerably as Jackson takes control from the inside, lets the hands go. 26. And that's going to be a 3-punch combination, peppering the jab and a hard cross to punctuate that. No defense by Childs as we head to the 1-minute 20-second mark of round number 4. And it's going to be 2 stars from the outside. Once again, in control is Peter Jackson. Lets the hands go. 5 more punches land, and again, just misses a possible knockdown. And once again, by virtue of good fortune, Childs is going to block one of those as we head into the final minute of the 4th round. No stars from the outside for Jackson. Toe-to-toe from the outside. Jackson first. 3 punches land for the champion. And the challenger sets his feet and fires back. 43. His punches fall short. 40 seconds to go in the round. Peter Jackson now toying a little bit with Childs. 1 star from the inside. It's going to be toe-to-toe. The champion goes first from the inside. He misses. Would have been a possible cut. And firing back is the challenger, 96. And he's going to get home with a punch and a foul potential. And 10. That is indeed going to be a foul. So George Seiler stops the action and moves in to admonish the challenger for a headbutt. That is the first foul either fighter has been warned for in this one as we head to the final 20 seconds of round number 4. And Peter Jackson again up in double digits, but not quite as prolific as the first 3 rounds. And it's going to be 3 stars from the outside. Jackson takes control. He's going to finish strong with a 3-punch combination. And taking all those is Childs as the bell rings. 13 punches to 1. Another dominating round for the champion. And Frank Childs, 12-punch differential there. And due to his bias traits, Rudy Ortega will definitely give this round to the champion, so we do not have to roll for his judge's roll due to the punch differential. But at this point, most ringsiders in agreement. Hey, T-Dub, what's up, brother? Very interesting fight last night, wasn't it? It was, again, I'm not completely surprised Lopez won. It's how he won that surprised me. And Loma, I think his camp underestimated Lopez, to be quite frank with you. It was very good tactical fight and definitely a very entertaining fight over the final 6 rounds. So we're set to go for round number 5 in this championship battle. Down to 22 stamina is a challenger, Childs. And again, Jackson at this point pitching a shutout on the judges' cards as he storms out for round number 5. And right away, it's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange from the inside. Champion goes first. Champion misses. And firing back is Childs, 50, and he misses as well. So both fighters in too close to do any damage. They end up clinching. Peter Jackson, the Black Prince, pushes Childs away, gets separation, then ducks back in under a jab inside, and he's going to take control from the inside. Lets the hands go, and a vicious 5-punch salvo lands. And Childs snaps his head back and looks to hug as Jackson now applying the pressure. It's going to be no stars for Jackson. Childs now takes control from the inside, lets the hands go. 11. That's going to be a 4-punch combination. And 8, no knockdown. Peter Jackson eats all 4 of those punches, so a good flurry there for the challenger. And he has not had much success cracking the champion's defense up to this point. But once again, he takes control this time from the outside, misses, and missing on the countering opportunity is Jackson. Jackson now paused with the jab, trying to measure space. But again, Childs tucks inside and takes control again, lets the hands go. And 82 from the inside misses, and firing back with a 3-punch countering combination is the champion, Jackson. And again, the counterpoint trait, he is lethal. Gets an extra punch landed when he does land a countering blow. Taking control from the outside now is Jackson. Would have been a possible knockdown, but he misses. And Childs tries to fire back, but Jackson dances out of danger. 1 minute to go in the round. Peter Jackson, 3 stars from the outside, in control once again, and snaps a jab and a short cross. 2 big punches land, and the challenger blinks in frustration and looks to paw back and falls way short of the mark as the champion now dances around, looks to trade an angle and dip inside. He does, takes control. 53 from the inside, misses, and the challenger tries to counter, cannot. Final 20 seconds of the round. Another fairly decisive round for the champion. And it's from the outside, toe-to-toe, and Jackson goes first. 87 is going to be a clinch, and the bell rings as George Seiler steps in to separate the fighters. And again, double digits for Jackson, though not as significant as the previous rounds, 10 punches to 4. Through 5 rounds, Jackson has landed 78 punches, and Childs has been credited with only 15. But only a 6-punch differential this time, so there is an opportunity for the challenger to possibly steal this round. I have to think at this point, the way the judges are scoring, though, Jackson firmly in control. So we're getting ready for round number 6, and again, fatigue is going to be a problem for Childs. He enters this round with 12, so this will likely be his last round fresh. And when he is out of stamina, his chin gets much worse, as well as his punch output. So 2 stars from the inside. Jackson starts things out quick, takes control, and misses. And looking to counter is Childs, cannot do it, as an uppercut is way off the mark. 6s for both fighters. And from the inside, Jackson takes control. And again, that hard cross snaps back the challenger's head as he punctuates that exchange. And Childs looking to clinch, but Jackson pushes him away, sets the feet, and it's going to be Childs, though, from the outside, taking control. 35 from the outside, lets the hands go, and that's going to be a jab and a cross. And blocking one of those is the champion. So Jackson's defense has been on point. Childs has had some good defensive moments as well, and a toe-to-toe exchange. And the challenger goes first from the outside, looking to score from space. 18, that's going to be a jab, hook, and an uppercut getting through for the challenger. And firing back is the champion, and a champion, a big 4-punch combination, capped again by that hard right hand that snaps back Childs' head. Childs has been on the receiving end of several of those shots. And again, he has a cut right eye sustained in the 2nd round. So champion now circles the ring, looks to work from the outside, but the challenger ducks inside, takes control, lets the hands go, and connects with multiple shots. 4 punches landed for the challenger. And Peter Jackson now behind or even in the punch count, and this is the best round of the fight for the challenger so far. But Jackson now snatches back control from the outside, lets the hands go from space, misses, and trying to counter his Childs, but Jackson is too quick. Back to the ropes goes Jackson. Now he springs away, looks to reset and work inside. He takes control, 85 from the inside, and that's going to be a clinch, as Childs wants no part of that. 1 minute to go in the round. And the champion from the inside takes control, and actually it's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange from the inside, and Childs will go first there, 72. He misses. Would have been a possible knockdown for Childs, and the champion misses as well. 40 seconds left in the round. Peter Jackson, 2 stars, and again, it's going to be another toe-to-toe exchange. The challenger goes first, 84. He wants no piece of that, though, and again grabs. So Childs clinching, trying to reserve his stamina for the next round. 2 stars from the inside. Jackson takes control to end the round, and 97. It's going to be a single punch landing and a possible foul. And 7 is above Jackson's foul rating, and that is the round. So very close round that time, and 9 punches to 8. And first round of the fight, the champion has been under double figures. So this could be a round that the challenger actually wins. Hey, what's up, Robert? RJL 518, check out that wonderful channel. Mr. Baseball Broadcaster Extraordinaire. All right, again, the close round here. And is this one that Childs could possibly steal? At this point, it's been a very dominating performance by the champion. Childs with 6 stamina as we head into round number 7. And we're not even at the halfway point. He's going to be gassed. And Pete, yeah, really impressed with how disciplined Lopez remained, especially earlier, refused to bite on Loma's traps and overexpose himself. I think Lopez's game plan, I would agree 100%. It was a brilliant strategy, and even more impressive than the strategy itself was how well Lopez was able to execute it. I mean, he's a 23-year-old fighter. He This was only his 16th pro fight. He did not have a significant amateur background. He was, I believe, 26-8 as an amateur, so nowhere near the amateur credentials of Lomachenko. But yeah, and again, we'll talk about more about that at the conclusion of this fight. But very good performance by the now 4-belt champion Lopez. So Jackson starts round number 7 in control from the inside and looking to end things here as he lets the hands go. Again, that big right hand punctuates a sequence and taking one of those shots away. And Childs had some good defensive moments in this fight. He's just not been busy enough to really sway the judges to a point of any impact, as Jackson, now dancing around, looks to assert himself, takes control from the outside. And again, 4 big punches land and catching the challenger again on the end of that big cross. 9 and no knockdown chance. But Jackson continues to accumulate points in this one. And once again, working from the outside, lets the hands go, but misses, and trying to counter Childs. He throws a right hand, but Jackson is no longer there as he's danced away. Jackson now up on his toes, working from the outside again, takes control. A 2-punch combination gets through, and the challenger eats both. Motions Jackson on, but Jackson's not going to be baited into an exchange as he resets the feet from the outside once again. And again in control, Jackson misses, and missing on the counter opportunity is Childs. Throws a wild right hand, and again, Jackson, who's not there when it gets to its point. So from the inside, or from the outside, Jackson, no stars, and taking control from the inside is the challenger. Now he backs Jackson into the corner, lets the hands go. 4 big punches land for the challenger, and Jackson eats all of them. 1 minute to go in the round. Childs starting to rally now, and he is fatigued, by the way, at this point. 5 for both fighters, and Jackson in control from the outside. 56, and he misses, and missing on the countering opportunity is a challenger. Fatigued, I took 1 punch away from Childs for his last series landed. And 3 stars from the outside for the champion, and he misses, and looking to counter is the challenger, and he gets home a counter punch there. Again, 2 punches reduced to 1 due to fatigue. So another decent round for the challenger, but again, too little too late in this one as Jackson takes control at the end of the round, lets the hands go, but missing, and the bell rings. Another really unproductive round overall. Only 8 punches to 4 landed, so both fighters slowing down. But of course, the challenger is now fatigued. 4-punch differential. And Rudy Ortega again has a bias for the high punch score, which makes him a little bit more likely to score the round in Peter Jackson's favor. But at this stage of the bout, pretty apparent that the challenger is probably going to need a knockout to pull this off. And at this stage, his power is now a 1. His chin knockdown rating is a 5, hurt on a 10 or less, and his chin KO rating is an 8. So at this point, surviving the fight is probably going to be the best that Frank Childs can hope for as we enter round number 8. Bell rings, halfway point of this 15-round championship battle. And from the inside, Peter Jackson ducks in, takes control, and 92 is going to end up in a clinch as neither fighter looks to engage there. 2 stars from the inside for the champion, and this time lets the hands go with a vicious flurry. A big 5-punch combination. Rights, lefts land, and Childs is hurt. 2 within the power range, and 5 on the roll for the chin check, and Childs is down. Frank Childs is down here just 20 seconds into round number 8. Can he regain his feet? George Seiler begins to count. 8 or less, it's over, and oh, he makes it back up to his feet. A fortuitous roll, but it's a count of 9. So finally, the champion sends the game challenger to the mat. And this will be an unopposed action now for Jackson, as he's going to look to end this here in round number 8. 3 punches or more for a will check, and he works from the inside, and it is going to be a clinch instead. So Jackson, this has happened a few times in title fights. He's missed out golden opportunities to end matters. No stars from the inside, and it's going to be the challenger now who gamely fights back. but he's going to miss, and he's going to absorb 3 punches there as Jackson counters him and dances away. Frank Childs in all kinds of trouble. The champion resets his feet, looking to end this one. But again, it's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange. Jackson in control, lets the hands go first. 19 from the inside. Hard cross, caps the sequence, and up to 12 punches landed now. Looking to fire back is the challenger, and the challenger from the inside, no, misses. Minute 40 to go in the round. Peter Jackson now stalking his fade. Childs appears to have his head cleared, but Jackson in firm control from the outside. Short, hard punches as he moves in close. 18, just missed a possible cut there. Defensively, Childs is going to block one of those punches, though, so one gets through. And again, Childs has had several solid defensive moments in this fight. Al, Red Sox fan, has joined us. What's up, brother? Welcome to ringside. 2 stars from the outside for Jackson. In control, letting the hands go. 57, and he misses, and missing on the countering opportunity is Childs. Childs is being whitewashed up to this point in this fight as Jackson in control from the opening bell. 2 stars from the outside for the champion, and 55 lets the hands go but misses. And finally, the challenger scores a punch on the countering opportunity, a short right hand that got Jackson's attention. No steam behind that, however. And from the outside, Jackson looks to work, lets the hands go again, and again missing. So Jackson getting a little wild after the knockdown early in this round. Final 20 seconds of the stanza, and it's going to be 1 star from the inside. And for the challenger, 1 star from the outside, so it's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange. And going first is the challenger, Childs, 26, and that is going to be 2 punches land with fatigue adjustment. Possible knockdown. Oh, no, just missed a possible knockdown. His power is now down to 1. So firing back at the end of the round is the champion, and that is going to be a big 4-punch salvo to close things out here in the 8th. So once again, 17 punches to 3, another big round for the champion. And Peter Jackson now through 8 rounds has landed 112 punches. And 14 punch differential here. And again, this could be a potential 10-8 round if the judges are in a generous mood. At worst, it goes to Jackson 10-9 as we get ready for round number 9. Peter Jackson putting on a clinic. This might be his most complete title defense to date. Oh, darn it. As our dice have exited the ring. But yeah, Childs, the challenger, has really had no strong moments at all in this fight. So 2 stars, it's going to be Childs in control from the outside, and 41. And Childs lets the hands go, lands a single punch. So he gets out of the gate first in round number 9 as champion resets. 2 stars from the inside for Jackson. Jackson dips in, lets the hands go, misses, and grabbing him is Childs, who again at this point is fatigued, and Jackson still has plenty of stamina left, 70 to be exact. 2 stars are from the, 1 star from the inside for Jackson. He takes control, lets the hands go, and peppers the jab, then a short, hard cross, and taking all 3 of those punches of the challenger. 2 minutes to go in the round. Peter Jackson stalking his foe down, and it's going to be 2 stars from the inside for Jackson, and 86 will be a clinch. Childs is exhausted, and Jackson not pressing the action to try to get him out of there. It's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange from the inside, and the champion goes first, 54, and that is going to be 2 punches getting through and a possible knockdown. So the champion now looking to get things, get his opponent out of here. Firing back is Childs, 24. He's going to get home with 2 punches. And chin check now for Childs. And again, he is fatigued. 10 or less, he's in trouble. 2, and he is down again. Frank Childs is down. Referee moves in to start the count. George Seiler picks up the count from the timekeeper, and Childs is game. He's going to get up at the count of 8 this time. So 2nd straight round, 2nd knockdown of the fight, and Jackson's going to have an unopposed action. Can he get him out of here now? as he moves in, and it's going to be from the outside. And Jackson, 38, and he only gets home with 2 punches and cannot get the will check. So minute to go in the round as Childs desperately trying to grab the champion and survive here in the 9th round. 3 stars from the outside. Jackson in control, boxing beautifully, peppers a jab, then a hard cross. 3 big punches get through again, and again, with Childs already down, killer instinct is in effect. So 5 is going to be another potential knockdown, but Jackson not hard enough as Childs eats those blows. 40 seconds to go in the round, and from the outside, 2 stars for Jackson. Dancing in, and 26 from the outside, another big 3-punch combination, and it's going to be another potential knockdown, and 6. Childs is staggered. He falls up against the ropes, does not go down, but it's an unopposed action for the champion. Measuring his foe, looks to pick his shots, 90, and he's going to end up in a clinch. Final 20 seconds of the round. Hanging on for dear life is a challenger, Frank Childs, from the inside, 1 star, and Childs takes control from the inside at the end of the round, but cannot do any damage. Round is over, so it's going to be another 10-8 round for the champion in what has become an absolute bloodbath. In that round, 13 punches to 3 lands, and through 9 rounds, the challenger has only been credited with 33 clean shots, and Jackson averaging double figures at 125 as we head to round number 10. And his corner has got to be considering stopping this at this point as Jackson comes out for round number 10 from the outside, takes control, and lets the hands go. 21. That is going to be a hard cross. I'm sorry, a 3-punch jab, 3-punch combination jab, hook, and a cross. And just missed a potential knockdown there as Childs, at this point, not defending himself very well. Jackson ducks inside with 2 stars, and it's going to be 2 stars for the challenger. Toe-to-toe, Jackson goes first and peppers the jab and a cross again. 3 more punches land for the champion. And looking to counter is Frank Childs, and Childs lets the hands go inside. He's going to get credit for a jab and a hook. The cross falls short as he is tired. But a good comeback for the challenger. So no stars, 2 stars from the inside for the challenger again. 22, and a jab, hook, and an uppercut get through. Reduced to 2 punches. So Childs fighting gamely here in the 10th round. Still trying to make a fight of this. He's going to need a knockout to win. 2 stars from the inside for the champion. Peter Jackson ducks in, and he's going to get credit for a single punch. Possible foul. 17 will be no foul. Minute 40 to go in the round. Jackson looks to work inside once again, and it's going to be toe-to-toe from the inside. Jackson goes first. 17, hard cross, caps the sequence as 4 punches land. Looking to fire back is the challenger. And Childs acquitting himself nicely here in a very hopeless effort, but gets home a couple of punches on that toe-to-toe as Jackson in control from the outside. 75, lets the hands go and misses. Childs does not have the energy to counter. 1 minute to go in the round. Ones for both fighters. Jackson from the outside now looking to work from space, and 86. He's going to miss. Looking to counter is Childs. Can't do it. Would have been another potential knockdown if the champion had landed. 40 seconds to go in the round. Jackson in control from the outside. Sits down on his punches. Jab, jab, hook, cross. 4 punches get through. And the challenger potentially cut here, and 5, that is indeed going to be a cut. So we will roll first of all to see if it is reopening of the cut right eye, and it is indeed. I'm sorry, I needed to roll a 1d20 on that. Still, the right eye is reopened, so that second time the right eye has been cut. And on a second time there, a cut eye, the referee is going to stop the action, have the doctor come in to take a look. 1 to 3, this fight is going to be stopped on the cut, and the doctor lets it go on. So Childs fights gamely on as Jackson from the outside takes control, misses Childs, misses. 20 seconds to go in the round. Childs looking for a miracle to pull this one out, and it's going to be 2 stars from the inside for Jackson. He's going to finish strong and misses and falls into a clinch as the bell rings. So 15 punches to 6. Again, a decent effort. Childs is trying. He's been game. Just does not have the skill to hang with a champion. It's going to be a 9-punch differential. All right, so scoring on a 9-punch differential. Again, due to his bias, Rudy Ortega will automatically give the round to the champion. But this fight, very reminiscent of the Larry Holmes, Randall Cobb beatdown. It has been all Peter Jackson as we head into round number 11. And only Hart is keeping the challenger up at this point. Here we go, round number 11. Fighters have their final instructions, which for Childs just has to be pray for a miracle. And the fighters meet at ring center. Jackson immediately takes control from the outside. And again, peppering the jab, then across. 3 big punches get through. And Peter Jackson looking now to sit down on his punches and get Childs out of here. He's done playing with him. 2 stars from the outside. And it's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange, though. And going first from the outside. Short, hard punches. 2 punches get through for the champion. And Childs sets his feet, fires back, and he's going to miss. 2:20 to go in the round. We are in the championship rounds in a fight that has been all Peter Jackson. And once again, Peter Jackson in control, misses, and Childs ties him up as referee George Seiler separates the fighters, pushes them apart. Resetting his feet is Peter Jackson, and it's going to be a toe-to-toe exchange from the inside. And Jackson, double hook and a hard cross. 4 punches get through to cap that sequence. Firing back is the challenger now, trying to stay with the champion. And 86, that's going to be a clinch. So that's going to take 3 of those punches away from Jackson. Using the optional clinch rule, only the first punch gets through. So Peter Jackson now loses control as Childs takes control from the inside. And he's going to connect with 3 punches, reduced by from 4 to 3 due to fatigue. As he's still trying to make this a fight, but the champion, much more skilled, and it shows as he takes control from the outside and misses, and missing on the countering opportunity as a challenger. 1 minute to go in the round. And the champion, again, ducks inside, lets the hands go, misses, would have been a possible knockdown. 76, it's going to be a countering opportunity, and Childs, a nice hook there on the counter, and then he ties up the champion. Seiler again in to separate the 2 combatants, and it's going to be Jackson from the inside taking control. 23. It's going to be another 4-punch combination with that hard cross being the final blow. Possible cut, and 9. That's going to be above the cut rating for Childs. So Jackson snaps his head back, but no further damage to that eye. It's going to be 2 stars from the inside for the champion, and Jackson once again in control, and again getting home with a 4-punch combination, up to 14 now for the round. And the bell rings as Childs unable to block any of those. So round 11 in the books, another solid round for the champion. 14 punches to 4 as he continues to land average well over double digits in punches landed per round. And that 10-punch differential. And again, on the card of Rudy Ortega, it is automatically going to go to the champion due to his bias. You would be extremely hard-pressed in this fight to give Childs any rounds. There's really only been 1 close round to date as we head into round number 12. Howard, not born Cosell, would probably be echoing the same thing he did at that fight. And we would have got him out of boxing commentating about a century sooner if he'd watched this. But yeah, this is an epic beatdown at this point, which is funny because Childs is not the worst fighter. I mean, Childs actually is probably on par with Hank Griffin, who scored a mild upset, if you will, by holding Jackson to a draw on their first encounter due to the fact that he caught the champion twice. But yeah, Jackson's on his game today. So here we go, and it's going to be Childs taking control from the outside as Jackson fires back. And again, that counterpoint trait comes into play. 3 punches get through, and a hook snaps the sweat off of Childs' head as he looks to regroup. Jackson now stalking his opponent again, but it's going to be Childs that takes control from the outside. So Frank Childs, this time he's going to get home with 3 punches, and Jackson on the defensive check is going to take one of those away. It was a total of 4 punches landed, -1 for the block and 1 for fatigue. Jackson now takes control from the outside and boxing beautifully, paints his challenger's face with a 4-punch combination and another possible cut. No cut, though, as 18 is above the challenger's cut rating. Definitely causing some damage, though. 1 star from the inside for the champion. And he's going to take control again. 76 would have been a possible knockdown, but he misses. And countering again is the challenger. So a punch gets through there for Childs. Short right hand as he grasps Jackson afterwards. It's going to be 2 stars from the inside for the champion. And the champion once again in control. And 95, and that is going to be 1 punch landed, possible foul. 9 is above Jackson's foul rating, so the fight will go on. George Seiler, not necessarily known for being overly strict on the rules anyway. 2 stars from the inside for the champion. And 40, that's going to be a 3-punch combination, is again peppering the challenger with that jab and eating every one of those with a minute to go in the round. Childs, once again on the short end of the stick here in round number 12 of the scheduled 15-rounder. From the outside, the champion looks to work, misses, and falling short on the counter right hand is Childs. 40 seconds left in the round. The champion, again, looks to create space, pause with a jab to measure distance, and it's going to be a toe-to-toe. Actually, he takes control from the outside, lets the hands go, misses, and on the countering opportunity, Childs gets home with another looping right hand, so 1 punch lands for the challenger. Again, game, but just mismatched, and from the outside, Jackson in control. 23, and that's going to be another double jab and a hard cross, get through. And the bell rings as Childs takes all 3 of those shots. 14 punches to 4 again in this round. So Childs definitely is going to need a miracle. He's been down twice. And has yet to win a round in the eyes of the ringside observers. We head into round 13, 3 rounds to go. Hey, Pete, thanks for stopping by. But yeah, definitely we'll chat a little bit. And Al, hope you stay around for the Loma Lopez talk, buddy. But we'll see you later, Pete. Thanks for stopping in, bud. As we enter round number 13, and from the outside, Jackson loses control. But Childs is going to turn it into a toe-to-toe. Jackson goes first and lets the hands go again. 4 punches with that big right hand, capping the sequence, and it's going to be a possible knockdown as letting his hands go in return, and probably needs a clinch here, and he gets a clinch, and that's going to negate the knockdown opportunity and reduce the champion's punches landed to 1. So a very opportune time to clinch for the challenger as Jackson, 1 star, takes control from the inside, 94, and Jackson this time initiates the clinch. He is comfortable resting on his laurels at this point as this fight is well within the bag. Jackson lets his hands go from the inside and misses. No counter from the challenger. Childs again needing that miracle knockout to pull this one out. He works inside and 80 from the inside. That is going to be a miss. And looking to counter is the champion. He cannot do so, so he grabs Childs. George Seiler again steps in to separate the 2. 2 stars from the outside for Peter Jackson, 59. He's going to miss, and missing on the countering opportunity. No steam at all on his punches. Frank Childs threw that right hand out like a limp noodle, trying to hope he get lucky and connect with the champion. 2 stars from the inside. Jackson once again takes control, and 0-9. Peppering the challenger once again with 4 big punches. 1 minute to go in the round. Childs' corner screaming for him to do something. If he could, he would have by this point, but it's going to be toe-to-toe from the outside, and going first to the champion as he peppers a right, left, right, and 3 punches get through. Almost another potential knockdown. The challenger fires back, and the challenger, Frank Childs, 3 punches of his own as we head to the final 40 seconds of the round. Jackson again circling and again ducking inside, lets the hands go. 16, and that's going to be another 4-punch combination and another big right hand as the final blow in that sequence. Childs has absolutely no answer at all. Final 20 seconds of the round. Jackson giving a boxing lesson to the spectators here at ringside. Works from the inside and again lets the hands go. Possible knockdown as 4 big punches get through. Challenger's head snapped back, but somehow he stays on his feet as the bell rings, and 16 punches to 3, another dominating round for the champion. Up to 184 punches. We have 2 rounds to go. I do not think I've ever had a fight. I've had fights that were on pace with this kind of punch output, but they ended early. So I don't think I've ever had a full fight go where 200 punches have been landed by one fighter. If this goes 15, this could be the fight that happens, as Jackson only needs to land 16 punches over the final 2 rounds. And he takes control from the outside here in round number 14. And 44, a jab and a cross going to get the things going here for the champion. And eating both of those is Childs. And Jackson's corner now screaming at him to finish him off, but he's got a tough opponent in front of him. He's had him down twice, but not able to finish him as 4 big punches get through again for the champion. And Childs eats all 4. Motions the champion to keep coming. He is game, but he is getting absolutely thrashed in this battle. And working from the inside again as the champion. 38. Peppers a jab, cross, an uppercut. 3 punches land again for the champion. And the challenger eats all 3, staggers back into the ropes. Jackson calmly stalking him down. 1 star from the inside, and it is going to be a toe-to-toe exchange from the inside. Jackson goes first. Jackson misses. Would have been a possible knockdown. Challenger fires back, and the challenger is exhausted. He pulls Jackson into a clinch. Minute 40 to go in the round. And 1 star from the inside for Peter Jackson. Another toe-to-toe exchange. And again, Jackson misses, and the challenger does not. Gets home a single punch there. 1 right hand gets through. Minute 20 to go in the round. Jackson, 2 stars from the outside. Takes control. Lets the hands go. Misses. And Childs, too tired to even try and counter. Pawed out with a feeble jab. Well short of the mark. 3 stars from the outside for Jackson in control. Dancing around the ring, peppering, double jab and a cross. 3 more punches get through. The challenger eats them all. 40 seconds to go in the 14th round. Jackson could get to 200 punches this round. 2 stars from the inside. Jackson moves in. 56, misses. And countering with a single shot is the challenger. Final 20 seconds of the round, and it's going to be 2 stars from the inside for the champion. And he takes control. 43. It's going to be short, hard punches in close. 2 get through, and possible knockdown. And Childs again eats a vicious uppercut as the round ends. So 14 punches to 2. 12 punch differential, and this will definitely be another decisive round to the champion, pitching a shutout at this point. So heading into the 15th and final round, the crowd gives a very polite round of applause to Frank Childs for absorbing this mugging. So round number 15, Peter Jackson is at 198 punches landed. At least Childs shows, well, sometimes discretion might be the better part of valor, but yeah, he's nothing but heart in this fight. Probably would have done him well to stay down. But in the 15th round, he storms out and takes control from the inside. Doubles up on a lead cross, only going to get credit for a single one of those. Possible cut to the champion, and 2, and Peter Jackson now has some facial trauma. Could a gash end this fight as a miracle last minute comeback for the challenger? No, it is going to be swelling around the right eye. So at least the challenger will have that as the champion's eye begins to puff a little bit from that last exchange. 2 stars from the inside for the champion. And Jackson takes control. Misses. Would have been another possible knockdown. Childs throws a short hook in a countering attempt that the champion blocks. 3 stars from the outside for the champion. And taking control again, letting the hands go. 10, that's going to be another big 4-punch combination. And again, that right hand, it's been there all night. Sweat flies off a child's head as Jackson backs him into the corner, stalks him, 2 stars from the inside. Champion looks to duck in, 98, and that's going to be a single punch landed, and another potential foul. Will not be a foul as the referee lets them go. Jackson has now passed the 200 punch mark, a record over a distance fight for Glory Days Boxing, at least in my games. 2 stars from the outside, and the champion lets the hands go, can't connect, and unable to counter is Childs. Minute 20 to go, and Jackson's corner wants to see him get his opponent out of here, but he's not staying down. It's going to be a clinch. Minute to go in the fight. Childs hoping for a miracle. Jackson, though, in control from the outside with 2 stars. He's going to miss, and countering is Childs. A single punch gets through there, looping right hand over the errant hook by the champion. So 1 punch scored for the challenger. 2 stars from the outside for Peter Jackson. And Peter Jackson, again, that right hand punctuates that sequence. And the challenger, frustrated, bloody, but still on his feet as we enter the final 20 seconds from the outside. Jackson looking to punctuate this fight in a flourish. 58. He's going to miss, and Childs throws a wild right hand, and they embrace as the bell rings. 9 punches to 2 is the final tally. So 7-punch differential here in the 15th round. Okay. All right, the scorecards are being collected. And hold on a sec. Need to retabulate my scorecards here real quick. Actually, I'll do it manually. I didn't have the Excel sheet adding up all the rounds after 10. I don't know how that occurred, but it did. All right. Give me 1 second. All right, cards are being collected. A very dominating performance by the champion, Le Champion. So 15, 5, and okay. All right. Yeah, hold on, guys. Yeah, definitely going to be Peter Jackson winning. Let me get the cards added up here. All right, here we go. Here is your final decision, or your decision. Judge Samuel Condi scores this bout 149 to 134. Judge Rudy Ortega scores this bout 150 to 133. And Judge Terry O'Connor scores it 149 to 134 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still Glory Days Boxing Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Black Prince, Peter Jackson. So a dominating performance by Jackson, 207 punches landed to 39 for the challenger. So an epic. The challenger was not in double figures. His highest punch output was 8 punches landed back in round number 6. And Peter Jackson was in double figures in 12 of the 15 rounds and well over a 10-punch or double figure average throughout the fight. So let's talk a little bit about Lomachenko and Lopez last night. Let me pull my camera off here. All right. Let me just set this down here. All right. So in the in the Lopez Lomachenko fight last night, it was a very interesting fight, and again, not surprised that Lopez won. I'd said leading up to the fight that Lopez had a chance, but the way I thought he would fight it would be to come out and pressure Vasily Lomachenko and try and get an early stoppage, which was the only chance I thought he had in the fight. Yeah, no, it's and here's the thing: Lomachenko's camp, they underestimated him. I've said about Teofimo Lopez that he reminds me of a young Hector Camacho who sits down on his punches. But he has the hand speed Camacho had. Definitely very much has the flash, as was proven in the post fight. And one thing he does that Camacho never really did at all in his career is he sits down on his punches too. So he's got more power than Camacho. And not quite the defensive ability, but still very good defensively and very good at space. And the difference, I spent a good portion of fights, especially with more, I guess, esteemed or world-class caliber bouts. I spent a lot of the time watching the fighters' feet. And what I saw last night was Lomachenko. He's got the best footwork in boxing, of course, but it was negated a lot by Lopez. And Lopez has very good footwork. It's definitely above average. I wouldn't say it's elite. He doesn't move. He doesn't have the angled movements and the side-to-side movements, some of the nuances that Lomachenko has. But what he was able to do is use his strength. And one move that Lomachenko, as a southpaw, really likes to do is he'll come in with a hook and then spin on his fighter to create an angle, and then fire back with his left hand when he has the fighter basically at an inopportune angle. And Lopez took that away. He did it a couple of times, but if you watch Lomachenko's fights, he always is great at getting to that angle and then just peppering his opponent before they can recenter themselves. And Lopez didn't let him do it. Now, in regards to the strategy, Loma did what he always does. He never comes out fast in a fight. He spends a couple of rounds diagnosing his opponent. And it's not so much what his opponent's doing offensively. What he's doing is he's using his feet to gauge space and to create timing with the fighter so that he knows where he has to be in the pocket to where he can let his hands go and score offensively. And what Lopez was doing, which was very subtle, but it upset Lomachenko's ability to do that, is he constantly had that jab going. He was just cut to get to an optimal weight. Fighters cut 15 to 20 pounds. They walk around 15 to 20 pounds above their fighting weight class. Lomachenko barely walks around probably at 145. And is the stream gone out? It may be buffering. Okay, good. So Lomachenko probably doesn't walk around much more as, mid to high 140. So he doesn't have a lot of weight to cut, if that. So he's fighting just really below what his natural walk around weight is. And it showed last night there too. Lopez looked bigger. He was definitely stronger. He was able, using his shoulder roll, and was able to push Lomachenko back and kind of move him when he wanted to. But what I was getting to is what Lomachenko's camp was wary of as a southpaw, and I'm left-handed too. So our poison is the straight right hand. So as a southpaw fights, we want to get our right leg, our lead leg, outside the left foot of the opponent if they're an orthodox fighter. That takes us out of the power alley from that straight right hand, which is the main punch that you're going to use against a southpaw, a straight right hand right down the pipe to nullify them and to take advantage. That's the matchup you want as an orthodox fighter against a southpaw, is to get your left leg, your lead leg outside their lead leg, and then pump that lead right hand right down the pipe. So that's what Lomachenko's camp was wary of. So they were focusing on staying outside of Lopez's lead leg, and also they didn't want to really jump into space and get caught with that straight right hand. And so by the time we got to the 7th round, he realizes, I don't really have a choice now. I've got to throw caution to the wind. And, some of the steam had come off of Lopez's punches by that point, but, not really anything significant. And I'll say this too. I thought Lomachenko is generally renowned for his conditioning, and that's what he does. He wears fighters down, gets them thinking, gets them jerking, gets them tense, and gets them into deeper water where he has more fatigue, more firepower, and then, takes him out and drowns him. I thought Lopez was fresher throughout the entire fight. I really did. And, Lomachenko was not putting enough pressure on him to really fatigue him up until the 7th round. So you saw in the 7th round, he started to stay in the pocket and try and impose his will on Lopez, push him back, and he was successful. The way I scored it, I had rounds 1 through 6 going to Lopez. Round 2 was about the only one I even considered giving to Lomachenko, but he didn't do enough, in my opinion. That one nice combo, and Andre Ward's like, there he is. Well, that's not enough to win a round. And so he built up an almost insurmountable lead through 6 rounds. It was 60 to 54 at that point on my card, and I haven't seen the judges' card, but I don't see any of them giving him the any of those first 6 rounds. So at that point, Lomachenko had to be perfect. And I gave him rounds 7. I thought round 7 was close. I thought round 11 was fairly close, but I gave him rounds 7 through 11. And again, probably giving him benefit of a doubt as champion. So for me, my card, and on one of the judges' cards too, Loma could have at best salvaged a draw by winning the 12th. And on the other judges' cards, it was over at that point. And Lopez, give him credit. The 12th should have been Lomachenko's round. And that's usually where he really finishes big. And Lopez outfought him in that 12th round. He took the fight to him and really cemented the victory. So I had the final tally 116 to 114, which matched one of the judges. And Al Lopez by 3 rounds. And that's, to me, like I said, 2 of those rounds I gave Lomachenko I thought were close. I gave him champion's benefit. So, yeah, I had no problem with 116 to 114. That's what I had. I had no problem with 117 to 113 because I thought that was reasonable. What I had a problem with is, Jesus Christ, Julie Letterman. 119 to 111, really? That, again, it's Loma's fault that he dug himself that deep of a hole, but to give him one single round of 12 is ridiculous. I think if, like you said, Al, you're being generous. At most, if you really were judging harshly, I mean, you had to give Loma 3 rounds, in my opinion. You had to. 2, maybe, but to give him only 1 of 12 rounds was terrible scoring. And yeah, she does not judge. She does not have her father's eyes. Her mother may have been Adelaide Bird. I don't know if they scored a fight together at one point and had a tryst, but if that's the case, she got her mother's eyes because that scoring was terrible. But it doesn't matter. Lopez won the fight. He deserved to win the fight, and it was Lomachenko's really, again, I don't think they gave him enough respect for his boxing ability. And he had been flash up to that point. He hadn't really had to show his boxing ability prior to this fight. And you know what? Lopez is a hell of a boxer. He's quick. He does very subtle things. He's not anywhere close to the level of Lomachenko on angles, but he does subtle things with shifting, just half a step here, good head movement, and enough in and out footwork. And when he does go in and out, he doesn't come straight at you. He doesn't stay on the midline. He'll come in and out from angles. So it's very subtle there, and he did a very good job. Even when Lomachenko tagged him, it looked like he might have got his attention, but he was never hurt. He just did a good job of doing what he had to do and staying out of harm's way. And really, he made Lomachenko desperate over the second half of that fight. And it's credit to him. I'm not a fan of his father, but I'm not a big trash talk guy. Just come do your job and go to work. But his father mapped out a very good game plan. His son stuck to it and used his skill. And he is the new king. And if I was rating him, he's not rated in Glory Days boxing. I was waiting for Lopez. I mean, he was obviously always going to be a talented fighter and a great fighter. But I was waiting for a fight like this, a definitive fight, before I could really settle with a rating. And at this point, if things don't change over subsequent fights in terms of how he looks, he is a solid 9-star fighter for me right now, putting him in Glory Days boxing terms, which would be four of his ring general columns with 2 stars, and one with 1 and one with the slash. So that's really the second highest tier you can get. It's within the top 3 tiers, and I think he showed with his performance last night that he's worthy of that. And if he continues to fight that way, he's going to be considered, in my opinion, one of the greats. That said, there's some amazing fights hanging around at lightweight. Javonte Davis, Tank Davis, is currently, I believe, number 4 by ring. He's 22-0, 21 knockouts, and he is a hellacious puncher. Him and Lopez would be an absolute super fight. And Javonte Davis has a fight coming up. I think with Leo Ruiz. He has a fight coming up in the next month or so. So if he gets past that, I don't think they would make that fight this early. I think probably next on Lopez's radar is Devin Heaney, who's undefeated and has the other belt that's still out there in the division, the WBA belt. But the WBA belt that Lopez has is called the franchise belt, which is another one of their bullshit 7 title belts so they can get sanctioning fees. But Lopez is the true lightweight champion. So Devin Heaney is a potential fight. Heaney's a good boxer puncher. I don't see him hanging with Lopez. I think the most dangerous threat to Lopez at this point in the lightweight division is Javonte Davis. And Davis is just a beast. The one advantage Lopez will have, Davis is very solid, very, very strong and powerful, but he's also 5'4", and maybe 5'5", if that's been generous. So Lopez is going to have length on him, and with the jab he showed against Lomachenko, he would be able to control the fight, I think, at distance and stay out of harm's way. But that would be an excellent fight. Also looming is Shakur Stevenson. He's currently down in the fighting as a featherweight, but he's the same height as Lopez. So moving up to lightweight would not be a big jump for him at all. So you have some very solid potential big money fights between those 3. Lomachenko, in my opinion, if I was advising him, I would advise him to go back down to junior lightweight or featherweight. I just think that fits his body type. I don't think he's a natural. I think he's stretching being a lightweight. And he even talked previously about going up again to junior welter. I think he'd be very much out of his element there. It would be fighters at junior welter would be too powerful for Loma, and that's just his natural body composition. He's 32. He's not going to continue to naturally progress through weight classes like Lopez. Lopez is going to end up as a solid 147, maybe even a 154 pounder when by the time he's done. Loma's already gone through that. I think 135 is as high as he goes. And yeah, Lopez looked much bigger than him, and he was stronger. He was stronger in the ring for sure. Speaking of Glory Days boxing, what's in the works? So I thought I'd have the welter bantamweight cards back Friday. I had to run to practice, so time got away from me, so I didn't check in with a printer. I'm going to call the printer in the morning. They're probably done. He sometimes he'll tell me when they're done. Other times I'll hear nothing and I'll outreach to him. He's go, oh yeah, come pick them up this afternoon. So I'm going to send him email or call Monday, and I think the bantamweight should be ready to pick up, which means they will be going on sale by the end of the week. And then after that, it will be the featherweights, which I'll start rating. They probably I'd say almost assuredly won't be out till January because football is going to take a lot of my time. And I never really get card sets out during high school football season because between working, my day job, and coaching, that's like 14-hour days for me. Usually I go from 5:30 a.m. till I get home about 7:30 or after at night after practice. So I don't have the time or energy to really spend much time on the game during the season. Good thing there is we're only playing, 5 season games and then a 6th bowl game is what they're calling it. And possibly, if we do very well, a Phoenix Union District Championship game. So off topic, hey, Matt, we have not had a football game back yet. We have a scrimmage this Thursday, and I'm not going to get into the idiocy of our school district, but because we reached out to 4 teams for scrimmages, 4 teams in our district 3 teams we weren't playing and 1 that we played we will play in our last game, and they were the 4th team we reached out to. The first 3 teams didn't want to scrimmage us. 1 straight out said, we don't like playing your offense. Your line's big. We just don't like it. You beat us up, which is kind of ironic since we're a notoriously not successful program. The other just told us no with no reason. We went back and forth again with another, finally reached out to a 4th school we weren't playing, and a school that has a lot more talent than us. It would have been a good scrimmage. Their coach agreed to it with us. Their AD said, nope, we have our scrimmages set. So we are going to have a scrimmage this Thursday against the team we play the next week in week 1, which is total. It's like I said, it's idiocy. But sometimes you have to deal with stuff like that. So it's not going to be a productive scrimmage. We're going to run 2 formations, our base double wing formation, and basically what amounts to a spread set 2x2, a formation that's not even in our playbook. We're just going to run that because we don't want to show some things to the team we're playing. So yeah, we play our first scrimmage. Well, we start, I guess, our scrimmage Thursday, and then a week from this coming Friday, we open the season up against that same team. So we're going to try and hide as much from them as possible. In fact, we're not even going to run our 2 core plays in the double wing offense. We're going to keep those under wraps. We're going to run trap, sweep, boot pass, and then we have 2 5-step drop passes we're going to run. That's it. So yeah, it is what it is, and I'm not going to bore you with that story of what I think about our school district and how the AIA in general has handled the high school football season here in Arizona. It's frustrating, but we'll deal with it. And the positive thing is the kids are going to have a season, and that ultimately is what the goal is, because it's about the kids. And it would really have sucked for the senior class to go out without a football season. So 5 or 6 games and no chance to play in the playoffs because our district and another district started after the rest of the state. So it's meaningless in terms of that, but meaningful in that it's still giving the kids a little bit of the high school experience, a little bit of normalcy, which is the most important thing. So yeah, that's sorry to go on, Matt, but that's where things are with football. And I'll do another vlog on scrimmage day next Thursday, which I'll probably have up Friday. What I'll do there is, again, talk a little bit behind the scenes about what we're going to do, and then I'll download some video clips from our scrimmage and intersperse those with me talking and Friday. And you're right, Al. I mean, ultimately the kids can play. It's not a total loss for them. So, that's what it's all about. We're there for the kids ultimately, and if we can give them something and shield them from the bullshit we have to deal with the AI here, then that's the important thing. Don't let that affect them, even though it drives us crazy. But so that's where we are. Featherweights next for Glory Days Boxing in January, and then flyweights, and then we're going to start supplemental sets. One of the first fighters, obviously, that will be in one of those first supplemental sets will be Teofimo Lopez and Javonte Davis as well, and also Shakur Stevenson. The Tramal brothers, and so they'll be. I'm going to focus the first supplemental set on getting more current day fighters out there, and I don't necessarily like rating current active fighters until they have a defining fight. But oh man, last night was a very defining fight for Teofimo Lopez, passed with flying colors, and end of the day, he outboxed one of the top 3 boxers on the planet. Lomachenko, what he does with his footwork, no one can do. Lopez took that away and outboxed him and made him desperate and made him chase him to try and save his title. And then it was Lopez that finished strong in the 15th round. So excellent fight. So that's kind of my opinions of the Loma Lopez fight. All props to Lopez, and we'll see what happens as Loma goes back to the drawing board. And it'll be interesting to see what he does next, if he wants a rematch or if he's going to go back and maybe drop down and fight junior light, or even back down to feather again and clean up those divisions. So supplemental sets will be multiple. Supplemental. Oh yeah, yes. Supplemental sets will be multiple weight classes. Probably. Way I'll probably structure that is 10 of each weight class. Maybe more of certain weight classes, like 15 middleweights or whatever. And each of the supplemental sets, I'm going to try or in each of the weight classes, I'm going to try and get at least 5 current active fighters in there. And again, I don't want to flood the game with active fighters too early in their careers, because it just means I'll be going back and re-rating them, et cetera, et cetera. Barry McGuigan will definitely make flyweight. McGuigan was one of my favorite fighters. Very, very tough kid and very fun to watch. So yeah, he'll definitely be in there. Eusebio Pedroza, Little Red Lopez, Salvador Sanchez. Featherweights have a lot of good fighters. Probably some more quality top end fighters, in my opinion, than the bantamweights. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the featherweight set as well. And we will do a bantamweight release stream once I get the cards back from the printer, and we'll have a bantamweight fight. Probably looking to do. Probably the fight I'll do is Terrible Terry McGovern, who is a very interesting character, and Jeff Chandler. I think that would be a fun fight for a release fight. So that's what's coming up. But hey, guys, appreciate you stopping in for the Peter Jackson successful title defense and hanging around to talk a little bit about Loma and Lopez. So thanks to Matt Stillerfan 1933, Pete M, What's Blazing in Sports, T-Dub, appreciate you stopping by. Robert, RJL 518, check out that channel. And, of course, our good fan, Al, Red Sox fan, check out his amazing channel as well, with all kinds of baseball and boxing, and has been a very, very big advocate of Glory Days Boxing. Al, I appreciate it greatly. And Matt, you already know I appreciate your contributions to the game as well. And Al, I'm not going to do junior classes. What I will do is take some of the junior. I'm going to stick with the original 8, but I'll take some of the juniors and rate them in the weight class that makes the most sense for them to go up or down to. So that's it for me, Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. And thanks for stopping by, all, and hope you all have a great remaining few hours of your weekend. And we'll be back again. Probably the next thing up on the channel will be our Behind the Whistle vlog number 2, and that will be our scrimmage vlog. So we'll see you then. And until next time, keep rolling for the knockout, rolling for the fences, or whatever you do, just keep rolling. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. Have a good night. Take care, y'all.